what do you need to ask a buyer's agent before you start working with them and sign an agreement?
Plus, what's happening with the mortgage rate and inventory?
Yeah. So my name is Alan Richardson.
My
This is
name's Ming Richardson.
And we're part of the Maximum One real estate team. We're here to kind of go over the comings, the goings, the things happening as far as our weekly market update. But we really want to start off with questions that buyers should be
Should.
asking their agents. We get this question, especially from first time buyers, about well, I don't even know what to ask an agent. Like how do I choose an agent? What are the qualities I'm looking for? What are the important things to ask? And so we've prepared some questions, and we think it makes a lot of sense and it's smart for you. So first thing is when you meet that buyer, I mean when you meet that agent, you want to say, what kind of services can you provide me? It's a pretty general
I know
statement,
it's
but
very general, but that'll get the conversation going
yeah,
if you are unsure while you're meeting the agent.
yeah.
And also, another question I will ask is how well do you know the market I am where I'm searching for a home? Because sometimes it's easier for agents to say, "Oh, I can sell any home in Georgia." Well, the problem is if you don't understand the
The
market
local market.
that is going, whether or not it's a seller or buyer's market, or what kind of negotiation that's currently being used, or what is best fit for your client based on their needs,
That's a super important point because yeah.
that can be a negative.
Well, I mean, like if you just look at Atlanta, how big Atlanta is, and
Hmm.
and the
Or
market,
melting pot.
yeah. I mean, but the market in Douglasville is not the market in McDonough, is not the market in
Absolutely.
Sandy Springs, and so having folks who really know a local market is just invaluable to you. Another question you definitely want to ask is how much experience do you have in working with buyers in my situation? And by saying in my situation, it's kind of like if you're a veteran, you want to ask, are you comfortable working with veterans? If
Or
you're a first
understand the
time
VA
buyer,
loans.
yeah, or if you're a first time buyer, these are people who are going to be in your same situation. So all that comes out through the conversation, but you want to make sure that they're comfortable working and are ready to represent you.
And ask the agent, how do you find property? Show me.
Are they
You
just
know?
using the MLS? Do they have networks? Are they reaching out to people? That kind of stuff. Um,
And what will be included in our buyer brokerage agreement? So, according to the National Association of Realtor and brokerages as well, all agent has to have a buyer brokerage agreement. What it is it basically is like when you buy a vehicle. Okay, when you buy a vehicle, you sign a contract. Unless a contract is signed, nothing happens. So, for me to be assured that you're going to work for me, Mr. and Mrs. Agent, they will require you to sign a buyer brokerage agreement. Now, can you get out of that? Absolutely. If you feel like at some point this is not a good relationship, send a written notice.
yeah, notice to terminate. But before we get into terminate, let's talk about what this buyer agreement really is. This states that I'm going to work with you, you're going to work with me. That realtor or real estate professional, they can't negotiate on your behalf if they don't have a contractual relationship with you.
Correct.
They can't show you a property if they
Correct.
don't have a written buyer agreement. But this states these are the services that are going to be provided. These are the fees that will be charged. This is the length of the agreement, how long that goes, and that brings up another question, like how long, Mr. Mrs. A, how long are we going to work together? Well, this comes down to really, this is a negotiation between you and your real estate
Agent.
professional
Right.
of, well, I want to move in a home in the next 6 months. I expect that you can do that for me, or three
Correct.
months, or however long it may be. Uh, you know,
Where am I option paying you?
that's
That's
like
the
a
biggest
huge
question.
question out there.
Correct.
Do I have to pay you directly? Does the seller pay? Do I pay part? Can we make this part of closing cost? All those are viable options because for years it's always been that not maybe always is the wrong term to use, but generally speaking, in the
Customary
past,
in the
yeah,
past.
the seller offered to pay part of the buyer's agent's all or part of the buyer's agent's compensation in the listing. It's
Well,
not
that's
necessarily that
because the
way.
sale price, in the
Yeah,
past included the compensation for both sides
yeah.
because the seller knows without the buyer, they can't sell their house and
Mhm.
nobody's going to work for free from the buyer side.
Well, and we are still seeing where the vast majority of our sellers are still making offers of compensation
Sure.
or agreeing to offers of compensation as part of the purchase and sale when offers are submitted. But you want to be able to discuss these options with with the agent that you're going to be interviewing through
And
here.
as a buyer, I will ask, can you recommend a home inspector, a lender, or a repair person for me if I need them?
Yeah. Do you have other service providers who are going to be really beneficial for me?
Correct.
So let's change gears and just kind of talk briefly about what's happening with interest rates, because we have seen where interest rates were going down and then they
And
jump
then
back
jump
up.
up.
Yeah, just a little bit here. But you have to understand that interest rates follow the 10-year treasury. The 10-year treasury is heavily influenced by the market, right? And so, the reason that the mortgage rates went up is that, even though the federal fund,
Have cut the rate, but the
yeah,
problem is that the job market is showing a increase instead of decrease in unemployment, meaning that we have less worker available, and also our CPI has rise 3.5%.
yeah,
Consumer
price index.
price index.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah. But the Fed, even though they lowered the interest rates, they came out and did all these interviews, and then that kind of drove the markets a little bit crazy. And then we have the October effect, which is
Traditionally, October is a not a great month.
volatile, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's
Yeah,
very volatile, so it's not a
in
great
the
month in
markets.
the
Yeah,
market for mortgage.
and then we got a lot of election fears going on right now. And
Absolutely.
so, all that kind of, leads to where we saw the interest rates kind of bump back up a little bit. Please don't think that that's the direction they're going in. All indications, everyone is expecting interest rates to really move forward. We are going to weather October, move into the later months of the year in really, really good shape. So please don't stop shopping. Don't stop engaging. Don't stop looking for homes. Now is still the right time to be doing that.
Because you may find that home that you absolutely
Yeah.
love, and if you're actively out there looking with your agent, you might get a home much easier at this time than it is to compete with everybody else.
Yeah.
When everybody think the interest rate is great.
And you also don't have to lock right now, right?
That's
That's the
correct.
whole idea. So, but understand that there is still a lot of demand out there. We do have rising inventory levels, which is really good from a buyer's point of view. The rising inventory is up, but don't think it's up enough to cause any kind of property value declines. Yes, overall inventory in Georgia is up about over 50% this year versus last year.
But we're still below the pre-pandemic
Yeah.
numbers.
We're down 22%, and even back then it was a seller's market there. So we
Correct.
are seeing where our market is moving definitely into much more of a balanced kind of arena. We aren't seeing property values that are declining or anything like that.
So the old adage is, what goes up must come down, right?
Well, that's not really true. We have seen where property value appreciation for the last 50 years is 4.5%, 4.4% for the last 50 years. And so that's not necessarily a true statement. And not only that, like who wants to buy when values are going down? We just don't see any inclination of prices. We see prices stabilizing. We don't see double-digit price
Correct.
growth, those kind of things going on. But we do see a lot of very positives happening in the market, but just very moderate price growth as we kind of move forward.
Absolutely.
So
just want you to know, in the month of September, we have reached the high in purchase.
Yeah.
And that's because a slight interest rate dip. And because of that, we have seen more mortgage application. In October, yeah, we saw the decrease, absolutely, because the interest rate gone up just slightly more.
Yeah. But moving forward, we are looking at those numbers kind of dropping off. Please reach out to us or any of our teams if you need more information about what's happening with the rates, to interview a real estate professional, or if we can be of any kind of service at all.
Absolutely. Please call and text us.
All right. You can find our information below. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great day.